Hey, today is Friday, October the 2nd. The title of my book is A Child Called It, One Child's Courage to Survive. And the author is Dave Pelzer. I have read a total of 98 pages from first to now, and what's going on in the book is there's this kid, and he's got two younger brothers. The dad is here and there. I mean, in the beginning he was there, he helped the kid out a lot, but the mom is a big drunk. And she's a very, very abusive mom, but only to Dave. What it is it's his life. You know, this book's all about him. There's a 3-book series, and it's actually the worst case of child abuse recorded in California. And it's pretty sad to know what this kid's went through. Like, it breaks my heart. I've cried several times already. But no, it's just about this kid. His mom gets drunk and very mean and takes all these different things out on him, even if he just takes 30 seconds longer to do dishes. Like, it's crazy what this kid has been put through. And the mom comes up with all these new excuses whenever he goes to school for his new bruises. And it's just like, she's pulled his arm out of socket and took him to the ER that night. It took her like 12 hours to finally take him to the ER, but she told him that he had fallen off the bunk bed. And then she tells the father, who was out of town for work, and she tells him he fell off the bunk bed. She attempted to catch him, but was too late. Like, it's sad. It's a super sad book. But let's see. For my claim, it's all child abuse. You know, this whole book, it's just things that this mom has done to him, and child abuse. It's wrong. Like, I don't have really the words to explain anything going on in this book, but just a mother who should not be a mom. And she's just, it gets at me quite a bit. You know, I know a lot of people that's been in this situation, and it hurts to be reading this and to see what this poor kid has had to suffer. Like, for instance, for my first thing I want to read to you guys, this is probably the nicest thing that she's done to him besides pulling his arm out of socket. And it says, "I knew Mother had something hideous on her mind. As soon as they left, she brought out one of Russell's soiled diapers. She smeared the diaper on my face. I tried to sit perfectly still. I knew if I moved, it would be only worse. I didn't look up. I couldn't see Mother standing over me, but I could hear her heavy breathing. After what seemed like an hour, Mother knelt down beside me and in a soft voice said, 'Eat it.' I looked straight ahead, avoiding her eyes. 'No way,' I said to myself. Like so many times before, avoiding her was the wrong thing to do. Mother smacked me from side to side. I clung to the chair, fearing if I fell off, she would jump on me. I said, 'Eat it,' she sneered. Switching tactics, I began to cry. Slow her down, I thought to myself. I began to count to myself, trying to concentrate. Time was my only ally. Mother answered my crying with more blows to my face, stopping only when she heard Russell crying." And Russell is his younger brother. And there's another one, I can't remember his name, but there's a middle child. And the middle child has starting to become the favorite, kind of. Like, he's becoming an ass kisser, pardon my French, but he is, like, pretty much egging on what the mom's doing and just trying to, like I said, kiss ass. But anything that Dave does in secret, he is going and telling. Like, literally, this poor kid, Dave, he There's times he's not been able to eat for 4 days. I remember reading a part where she's seen him eating some hot dogs, sneaking them, and she made him go to the bathroom and throw them up. And the dad was home and found it. And at this point, the dad has finally come to terms with how mom is. He just tries not to get in her way because she's evil. But anyways, he said, just told her, let the boy eat. He's hungry. And she finally breaks out and says, you want him to eat? He's gonna eat. And then she made Dave take the throw up out of the trash can and makes him eat it again. It is so sad. I wanted to hurl when I read that part. And then the dad just sat there and watched. It's sad to think that, that's supposed to be your parents. And they're just cruel. One's just evil and the other one is just trying to stay out of the other one's way so he doesn't get anything thrown at him, or it's sad. Here, my second passage that I wanted to read is, so far, this has probably been one of the worst ones that she's done to him so far. This and one other, but this one has stuck with me the whole book. Mother then reached over and turned on the gas burners to the kitchen stove. Mother told me she had read an article about a mother who had her son lie on top of a hot stove. I instantly became terrified. My brain became numb and my legs wobbled. I wanted to disappear. I closed my eyes, wishing her away. My brain locked up when I felt Mother's hand clamp my arm as if it were in a vice grip. You've made my life a living hell, she sneered. Now it's time I showed you what hell is like. Gripping my arm, Mother held it in the orange-blue flame. My skin seemed to explode from the heat. I could smell the scorched hairs from my burnt arm. As hard as I fought, I could not force Mother to let go of my arm. Finally, I fell to the floor on my hands and knees and tried to blow cool air on my arm. It's too bad your drunken father's not here to save you, she hissed. Mother then ordered me to climb up onto the stove and lie on the flame so she could watch me burn. I refused, crying and pleading. I felt so scared I stomped my feet in protest. But Mother continued to force me on top of the stove. I watched the flames, praying the gas might suddenly run out. I just don't know how to process that your parents are supposed to be like your best friends, and I don't get how, if you're going to be abusive or even think about something like that, do not be a parent. It's sad. Like I said, they're supposed to be your best friends, the people you go to for comfort, to be loved and held, and, and this poor kid, he doesn't have any of that. He lives in the basement of his house, while his brothers have they have a bunk bed they sleep in. They eat family meals together, and he has to sit downstairs and just listen to them eat. If the mother is nice that day and decides to let him eat, it's the scraps that they've left. Like, for instance, there's a part where the little boy, their middle child, got done eating cereal, and he had a little left, and that was his food. I mean, this kid has stooped down so low and is eating food out of the garbage can whenever he can. And the mom figured it out and started pouring it down the drain. I don't know what to think. I'm ready to finish the book, and hopefully, it's not that bad. But there is 3 books to this series, and I'm hoping that something happens before then, because it's driving me absolutely insane. I want to know what's going on. But y'all should read this. It's a good book. It's very sad, but it's good. It makes you really think about a lot. I mean, there's people out there who have stuff so much worse than we do, and a lot of us take it for granted. But it really bothered me a lot because we adopted my sister's who were abused. And not to this extent, no. But to even think about something like that. And I know a lot of stuff that they went through. And it kills me. It really does. You know, they were in a similar situation. They had an older brother, and he essentially, the mom ended up killing him over, because he was crying and everything, and he wouldn't shut up. Needless to say, the girls got taken away. I'm very thankful we have them now. I have 2 amazing younger sisters, but this book hits me really hard, just thinking of like the situations of what my sisters went through. So I can only pray that even if I got to read the 3rd book to figure out what happens, that this little kid got the family that he desperately deserved. So I can't wait. Thank you guys.